God said, "Let there be light." Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last stop of the monologue show.
Sure.
And as the last stop of the monologue show, I have a little theory. Whoa, there's a little theory that I like to share with you. And the theory goes something like this. A very long time ago, there was God. And God was in Mrs. Johnson's 5th grade science class. And in Mrs. Johnson's 5th grade science class, there was a project due next millennium. And God, being the procrastinating entity that he was, he decided at the last minute to scrap together this little thing I like to call the universe. And inside this universe, a more or less magnificent human civilization flourished, and God saw that it was good. Sort of. Now, before you burn me at the stake for blasphemy, let me just explain to you why I believe that this theory is true. I believe this theory is true because this theory would explain a whole heck of a lot about the rules that dictate this world. These rules that seem very serious, but actually, if you look at them, they're rather whimsical and almost childish. For example, gravity. Gravity has been there for you, whether you were 5 years ago, now, whether you're high or low, pulling you down. Like a very needy spouse. Or a dog. It's kind of ironic. Here's the thing. Gravity is defined as the gravitational constant times the mass of one object times the mass of another object, all divided by the square of the distance between these two objects. Which means that if you have two objects relatively close to each other, then they're going to attract each other. Two objects attracting to each other. Now, I don't know about you, but anyone else find this whole gravity business a little absurd? I mean, there's no absolute logic. I mean, there's no reason why these two objects should attract to each other emotionally, intellectually. They just do. Absolutely ridiculous. How about another example? How about our will to survive? I mean, we are programmed from the get-go to preserve our life, to play this game called life as long as possible, without an objective, without an instructions manual, much like a chess pawn is programmed only to move forwards in chess. Another example, how about the rules of logic? I call this the Rebecca Black theorem. Saturday comes after Friday. Sunday comes afterwards. Therefore, Friday is before Sunday. Good. Now, the rules of logic. Who decided on these rules? Now, we're much like chess players. We know the rules, we play by them, but rarely do we ask, who made these rules? And more importantly, why the rules are the way they are. You see, how are we supposed to know the truth behind these metaphysical concepts, such as gravity, the concept of God? I believe I have a response to that question. This is life. And if I can... Hi. Do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
What's his name?
DJ.
DJ. All right, let's say this is DJ.
Okay.
He's a life, a perspective. And this, the music coming out of the speaker, is going to be some metaphysical concept. Gravity, will to survive, God, whatever. Now here's the thing. You and I, inside this bowl, trapped inside this bowl, physically, not only physically, but also in a perspective to view and learn about the truth, the metaphysical truth. See, as a goldfish inside, trapped inside the life, looking through the limited and the distorted walls of the bowl, we can only come to overly simplistic and skewed conclusions about the music that's coming out of the speaker. You see, as the fish inside the bowl, we know that there's vibrations coming out, but we cannot understand the music theory, the chord progressions, the musical genius of Beethoven. Much like this fish, you and I, trapped inside life, looking through the limited scope of life, we cannot understand. We can only come to an overly simplistic and skewed conclusions about gravity, about the will to survive, the whole concept of God. See, like the fish, we are aware that these concepts exist, but we cannot come up with a full and an accurate description of it. So are we doomed? Are we doomed to personal limitations? Allow me to add the final layer to this contraption. Another bull. Another life. Another fish. Another human. Let's call him Mr. Rossi.
Yeah. Mike.
And from this perspective, you see the speaker looks like nothing but a square with wires coming out. You see, much like these two fish, we stubbornly insist that our perspective of the truth is the only perspective to truth. You see, here's the thing. One fish sees the speaker as a series of vibrations, whereas the other one sees the speaker, the music coming out of the speaker, as just a simple box with wires coming out of it. But man, just think about it. Think about what we could accomplish if these two fish can communicate. They can combine their limited understanding of the music that is coming out of the box. You see, by acknowledging our limitations, we liberate ourselves from them. You see, by acknowledging that our understanding of gravity may not be the full and the accurate description of it, we open our minds to discover other cosmic concepts we have yet to discover. See, by acknowledging that our understanding of the will to survive may not be the full and the accurate description of it, we open our minds to discover why a mother would give her life up for her child. See, by acknowledging that our understanding of God may not be the full and the accurate description of it, we open our minds to make sure that God reveals himself to us. You see, once we realize this, I believe that the God that we know will look at the world and say, it was good. Sort of.